Dundalk TV had the pleasure of running into Bruce EBERT today. And Bruce, I saw the video that when you were at the Dundalk Eagle, and there seemed to be a little something going on between you and someone there. So who were you talking to and what happened?
I was talking to the editor of the Dundalk Eagle, Mrs. Perryman. I believe her first name is Nicole. I'm not sure, but I know her last name is Perryman. So at the time, I had read the article in the Dundalk Eagle that, to be fair, agitated me because it's always the same thing, the race car. So one individual that was a member of the Steelworkers Union is Bethlehem Steel, which I worked at for 29 years. The same narrative, racism. So what I was angry about, she took one person's statement, one person's point of view, without the possibility of communicating, touching base with anybody else. I worked at Bethlehem Steel for 29 years. And to be fair, you know, when I went there in '74, there was a consent decree to bring more minorities, more black people into positions of authority and in the union's management also, which I thought was a good thing. But unfortunately, in the past, there had been some problems at Bethlehem Steel. But it appears to me that people are always looking at the past. So, in a sense, there were times that before I got there, when some of the union members didn't always give respect to some of the black workers or didn't give them a possibility, didn't always represent the black workers. But I found out, unfortunately, that when a lot of black employees became involved in the union, unfortunately, they did the same thing where they were looking out for their black brothers and sisters, which I was offended by. So, personally, I never really thought that was rampant racism at Bethlehem Steel. It had been segregated long before I came there. The plant had been in existence close to 75 years, even before I quit. But it was always the same thing. But she could have, before she expressed that opinion, published that, talked to somebody else that had possibly worked there and saw some of the issues. There were some people that became members of the black union, members of the union, looked out for the black brothers and sisters first, which I thought, as a union member, solidarity, we're all brothers and sisters. I can think of a couple occasions where a couple union members did that. Even when union elections would come around, the conversation, I got along with everybody, and a lot of them respected me because I was blunt and I told them the truth. So the narrative was, well, I got to vote for this individual because he looks after his brothers. I said, well, you know, he's got to, fine, if he wants to look out for your brothers, referring to the black people, the black employees and minorities, that's fine. But he's got to look out for all his brothers and sisters that are in the union. That's what I find offensive. And unfortunately, in a lot of politics today, particularly from progressive Democrats, they always want to play the race game. I believe in one race. We're all one division and subdivision of that.
The human race.
The human race. So when I expressed this, to be fair, I was a little agitated. I was angry. I could have been a little more relaxed, but I'm frustrated with hearing it all the time. And when I said that, she said she was going to call the police. I laughed. And at a later time, the next day, I actually contacted a member of the Baltimore County Police Department and asked for their supervisor. I wasn't getting over the supervisor, and I explained to the police officer what happened. I didn't threaten that person. I didn't say anything that was particularly hateful, bigoted, narrow-minded, or racist. But apparently she wanted to put out there that I'm not a serious person. It happens all the time. And I'm active in politics, somewhat. And you know, I've been through it before. That people don't want to listen to you. You know, I'm losing my train of thought here a little bit, but you know, I'm just tired of it. I've expressed my opinions lots of times on different programs, at public meetings, at community association meetings. At a couple weeks ago, I was at a police community association meeting concerned with the issues happening in my neighborhood, and heaven forbid I mention illegal immigrants. And it was like I had horns on the top of my head. And I was asked to leave. I was told by the president and the chairman of the Police Community Association I was going to be physically removed. I left. I told him I didn't want to put up with the bull crap. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I think we all gotta have to try to get along. I think some of the division that happened in politics isn't fair. It's race, class, gender.
And so many people have a problem with the truth.
Well, so what I always get a kick out of is the monopoly of truth. It's like, for some reason, one person or one party seems to have a monopoly of truth. There is no monopoly on truth. I don't know all the answers. The only truth I know is what I see by doing research, by reading, by paying attention. I'll read particularly conservative newspapers and particularly liberal newspapers, and listen to a lot of talk shows that are also liberal and conservative, and participate in some of the conservative talk shows. That's where I stand. Unfortunately, it's too easy to misconstrue someone. What's the old phrase? Before you can judge somebody, you have to walk a mile in other people's shoes. Too many times things are taken out of context.
Thank you, Bruce.